Give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Ha Rakah Kodash. Double honors unto our apostle elders, which ruled great millstone well, and which taught us the truth. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure unto the end. Shalom wa abababal. So this is Leviticus 15. I just wanted to make a quick point. I recommend you read this, and it will actually allow you to see how unclean this world is really under the wicked. All right, so I'm going to read these couple verses so you can have some understanding of how unclean this place is. It says, And Yahweh spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying, Speak unto all the sons of Israel, and say unto them, When any man hath a running issue out of his flesh, because of his issue he is unclean. Right? And when you go into the issue, it's sexual, and it's a STD, or he ejaculate. Right? So it says a flow, issue, discharge, which it could be of semen, discharge, or it could also be even the woman discharging on, right, menstrual flux, semen flux. But also when you come down here, it's also in pertaining to the STD. Okay, and it showed you how dirty this place was. Let's see. The issue. Right. Here it is. So it says his issue. Then it says a running issue. Right? A flow, gush, issue, discharge from man or woman. And then saying as water, like semen, or the woman, she gets wet. But when you come down here, it says emission of gonorrhea. Emission of gonorrhea. So that shows you how dirty this place is. Right? Someone else having an STD, and they sit where you sat, or they ejaculated, had sex, and they didn't clean themselves. Wherever they sit, you sit, you're unclean. Because wherever they sit, they have made it unclean. You see? So this is a very unclean place, especially in America, when the majority of the people are walking around with STDs, touching everything, sitting everywhere, right? And we always make this point about the women being on their period, right? You got women serving you food on their period, which that's not supposed to happen, right? They're supposed to pretty much be put away for 7 days, right? Because they're unclean. Well, the same for the ones that have STDs, right? Because they're unclean and they make society unclean. All right, it says in verse 4, every bed whereon he lieth that hath the issue is unclean, and everything whereon he sitteth shall be unclean. And whosoever toucheth his bed shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until evening. Until even, but that means evening, the next day. And he that sitteth on anything whereon he sat that hath the issue shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be clean until the even. And that's why it's good to wash yourself every day. I know they tell you that you don't need a shower for a couple days, but it's good to, clean yourself every day. Okay? It says, and he toucheth the flesh of him that had the issue shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until even, which is the next day. All right. And it goes on even for the woman the same, right? But she has the period, which the man doesn't, but that makes her unclean. But also, if she has sex with a man, she is made unclean for a period of time, right? So let me pull up.
Health.gov, Office of the Assistant Secretary for Health. Although many sexually transmitted infections, STIs, are preventable, there are more than 20 million estimated new cases in the United States each year.
All right, so it says in 2024, CDC estimates, right, indicate about 20% of the U.S. population, approximately 1 in 5 people in the U.S. have an STI or an STD, right? So, and then it says right here, although many sexually transmitted infections, STIs, are preventable, there are more than 20 million estimated new cases in the United States each year. So if it was 20% in April 3rd, 2024, then it's much worse this year in 2025. All right. America is much more uncleaner. All right. It's a bitter place. America, it means bitter. And this is literally why it's going to be burnt. All right. If you ever taste burnt, it's bitter. All right. And I've noticed in a lot of these apocalyptic movies, they show them in a desert, right? Which really America is going to become a desert, right? According to future prophecy, America is going to eat nuclear missiles just like Sodom and Gomorrah and the other cities were destroyed by fire coming down from heaven. This spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah, talking about America, is going to be destroyed by fire via nuclear missile, and it's going to be shot off by its allies and enemies because America is that whore spoken of in Revelation 17. All right? And a whore has what? Uncleanliness. Revelation 17 and verse 1, and there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. The many waters are the people. Verse 15, and he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues, which this whore has corrupted the whole world. Verse 2, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication. So they got the wickedness of America. And the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication, the false philosophies like Christianity or democracy. Right? So here's the judgment of this whore. It says in verse 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. See right here. This was published February 25th, 2025, and I guarantee you it's much worse now than back then. But it tells you 5 signs that a U.S.-Europe split is widening, all right, which is going to lead to the nuclear destruction of America, because America is that whore, the great whore, which is also known as Babylon the Great. Shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel, wa abba.